right, this will be a Weathershield product knowledge PowerPoint on casements. First, we'll be looking at the thermal performance to see how Signature, Premium, Contemporary, and View all perform against each other, and then we'll go into each individual catalog to see, what the different features are, different options, and then we'll see how we compare against some of our competitors, both on the aluminum-clad wood side and the thermally broken all-aluminum side, more geared toward just sizes. And then we'll look at the structural performance of each individual casement, see where they test at, see what the DP is, this and that. And then we'll look at some of the profile differences to find out the design and how they're different. Looking at thermal performance right away, we can see that the Signature Triple IG or Zoe Shield 7 with argon performs the best, getting down to a 0.23. This is pretty important, actually, because the Signature doesn't get an energy sash. The Premium, Contemporary, and View all have energy sash options, which is a deeper IG. And then obviously it'll just perform better overall. So the fact that Signature can get down and it is overall the best performing casement is good because it doesn't have any additional options. Looking more into Signature, it gets a surface mounted keeper, and the max sizes we're looking at is a 3070. It is limited to 3 wood options, which is pine, MGF, and character alder. And it just gets the standard screen, so you don't have the retractable screen or hinge screen option. And by design, by default, it gets a smaller wood base on the frame, and so there's a jam extension that goes underneath the operator. You can upgrade to this in Signature. This upgrade is default in Premium and Contemporary. And this actually this is the narrowest sight line out of any of the casements, which comes in at 2 9/16, which is 2.5625 inches. And it gets the traditional hardware, traditional operator cover, handle, and sash lock. And it comes in rustic bronze, brushed nickel, black, white, tan, and bright brass. Moving on to Premium, this is where the keeper is concealed. That's where the Premium and Contemporary gets the concealed keeper. This max size is 42 inches by 96 inches. And this gets the standard screen. You can get a retractable screen, or you can get a hinge screen in the push-out option. So here's where we're looking at the ES energy sash. This is a 1 3/8 inch overall IG depth. And you can see here we get down to a 0.20 with argon. And additionally, in the Premium casement, the standard sight line is 2 7/8. However, you can get a 3.5 inch bottom rail in the Premium as just an additional option, and this brings your total sight line to 4 3/16. Within Premium, you have 2 different hardware options for the operator cover and handle and sash lock. You have the traditional, and then you have the Contemporary. And you get the rustic bronze, brushed nickel, black, white, tan, and bright brass. Polished chrome is also available. That is only in the Contemporary feature. You cannot get that on traditional. The push-out has Hoppy transitional or Contemporary hardware options in rustic bronze, black, and brushed nickel. And at the turn of one of those handles, those pins that you're seeing there on the right-hand side seat right into those keepers that are on the frame, or if it's a French, they will be on the astragal. As you can see here, the cross-section is a French casement, push-out casement, with the total meeting styles at 4 7/8, 5 inches. The Premium also comes in different arch tops with crank-out and push-out available in both French as well. So in the crank-out, you have the most arch top options. You can do that in the French. And then as you can see with the push-out, we got those 2 options there, and then again in the French as well. Moving on to Contemporary. The Contemporary has a flush frame option. That's for the Contemporary collection, so obviously it affects the casement. That's pictured there is what that concealed keeper looks like. That's also how it looks like in the Premium. Yeah, and then again here we have the 1 3/8 inch overall IG with the energy sash, and we get down to again 0.20. Moving on to the hardware, we only have contemporary, no traditional option here, in the same finishes as before. The max sizes for this one is a 3680. Contemporary pushout is very similar to the premium one. As we can see here in the cross section, we've got a retractable screen feature there. In the pushout, you either have hinge screen or retractable screen. There is no standard screen. We have the same archtop options in contemporary that we did in premium. And moving on from aluminum clad wood and onto thermally broken all aluminum, we have the view casement. This gets much larger. You can go 42 inches by 120 inches, which is 3.6 by 10.0, so 10 feet tall. This gets a multi-point lock up to 23.75 inches. Anything smaller than that is a single point. This has a screen design integrated into the frame. So it's the flex screen. I don't know if you've probably seen it on Shark Tank, or it's utilized in some other products as well. You just pinch the sides together, and it pops out of that screen channel for any reason. It popped right back in when needed. We have a different sash lock. It's the same contemporary handle as the contemporary casement. The sash lock is a little bit different, however, and we're limited to rustic bronze, brushed nickel, black, or white for the hardware finishes. This also gets an energy sash option. However, the IG is a little bit deeper than 3/8. We're looking at 1 9/16, so just a little bit over 1.5 inches. But this gets down to a 0.25. The sight line for the view casement, it comes in at 2 3/4. I don't think that's right. 0.25. That's not right, is it? Here, look at the thermal performance quick. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I don't know why it's cut off right there. That should be point. The ES is Zoe Shield 7. It's a 0.27. And with argon, gets a 0.25. So it is 0.25, but they're not the same. I don't know why it showed up like that. But yeah. All right, so we're looking at Pella Reserve. Has a pretty big casement there, obviously. I don't know how. I'm sure these aren't 100% accurate numbers. This is what I could find online. This is subject to change at any time. So from what I could find, so Pella's Reserve casement comes in at a 31190. So very large casement. And then the Marvin Ultimate comes in at 3686, and the Sierra Pacific Standard casement comes in at 3680. I believe sightline wise and operational wise, unless there's really nothing else too crazy different, these are all very comparable options to Signature Premium and Contemporary. So the Premium and Contemporary come in as about as wide as the Marvin Ultimate does, as well as the standard Sierra Pacific. It's the most comparable to Sierra Pacific Standard casement. The Marvin Ultimate gets a little bit taller, and then obviously Pella is a foot taller and a few inches wider. But so that's how we compare with on the aluminum clad wood side. And then moving on to should go down to the thermally broken all aluminum. So we're looking at Awake comes in at 3680. Western comes in at 3610, same as us, and Fleetwood comes in at 3080. Again, this is what I could find online. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but that's what we're looking at, stacking up on the aluminum side. Oh, that's why. Moving on to structural performance, the Signature Series actually tested the best at a CW commercial window. This can be used in mid-rise commercial or high-end residential. Obviously, that's what the business we're in. high-end residential. And this is equivalent to withstanding up to 140 mile per hour winds. The DP50. Well, it says PG50, but performance grade, same thing. Um, Under design pressure, DP50. Premium French casement. It is actually rated at a light commercial, so you can use it in mid-rise buildings and hotels. Again, this also gets a DP50. Great water performance, a 7.5. Very low air infiltration as well. Um, and then the Contemporary casement is also rated for light commercial. Mid-rise buildings, hotels, high-end residential. Um, this actually comes in at 7.5 water performance, but 0.00 air infiltration per the data. So pretty low. Can't get lower than that. And DP50. So we're right in that DP50 range with all these casements. And that doesn't change moving on to the View Collection. Also at a DP50. Light commercial, low-rise commercial, high-end residential. And this gets this also gets really good water performance and air infiltration numbers. So nothing's changing there. So the difference, as we can see visually here, between the Signature, Premium, and Contemporary, the Signature has the narrowest sight line. Because of that, again, can't go as big sizes, and we can't accommodate an energy sash, whereas you can do that in Premium and Contemporary, which both come in at 2 7/8 by default. So the first main difference is profile difference is the seal cover. So the Contemporaries is squared off. Got a casement here. Hopefully you can see that. So obviously it's squared off right there. And yeah, so that's the Contemporary. And then the Premium and Signature both slope back to the sash. While I'm actually thinking about it, I don't know why I didn't touch on it before, but these get the tri-core frame. As you can see here, you got the extruded aluminum exterior, extruded vinyl interior or mediary, and then the wood interior as well. So tri-core frame performs amazing, and this is in the casements for Signature, Contemporary, and Premium. Anyway, moving on. The base, as I said before, this base right here comes standard on Premium and Contemporary. However, in Signature, by default, it's back here more. All right, and then the View casement. I've got two different cross sections. The first one is a dual IG. The second one is a triple IG. So you can kind of see what that looks like. In the triple IG, unfortunately, your bead options change from beveled, narrow, and square to just square because you can't accommodate the beveled or narrow with the given room left because the sash is fixed. So we didn't make the sash any deeper. The sash is the same depth. We had to just invade a little bit of that bead space toward the exterior. All right, that is it. Email or call me if you have any questions. Thanks.